The transcript you've shared appears to be a dramatic, sensationalized narration likely from a YouTube-style royal gossip video or tabloid-style commentary detailing an alleged family crisis involving Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, her daughter Princess Beatrice, and the broader fallout from Prince Andrew's scandals. It claims Beatrice is desperately pleading with her mother not to publish an explosive tell-all memoir that could shatter their remaining ties to the royal family, amid financial pressures like maintaining Royal Lodge and reduced support from King Charles. Recent tabloid reports, primarily from outlets like Radar Online, OK? And others in late 2025, early 2026, have indeed circulated similar rumors. Ferguson has reportedly been approached with lucrative book deals, is said to be gathering old diaries and materials from Royal Lodge amid preparations to vacate it, and faces warnings that a candid memoir could severely damage relationships within the family, particularly with her daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, who have worked to maintain low profiles and preserve their positions, despite their parents' controversies. Here are several paraphrased and rewritten versions of key opinions and analyses from the transcript, preserving the core meaning but varying tone, structure, and wording for freshness while staying faithful to the original claims. Princess Beatrice is said to be deeply concerned and has reportedly urged her mother, Sarah Ferguson, to reconsider any plans for a revealing memoir. Sources indicate Ferguson is facing significant financial strain, including the high costs of Royal Lodge and cuts to royal funding under King Charles. While a book could provide much-needed income by sharing insider perspectives on her time in the royal family, Beatrice fears it would provoke intense backlash, potentially jeopardizing the fragile standing she and her sister, Eugenie, have carefully protected through discretion and loyalty to the crown. Asterisk, amid ongoing challenges for the York family, Princess Beatrice is reportedly pleading with Sarah Ferguson to hold off on writing a memoir that might expose private royal matters. The Duchess has endured years of public scrutiny and financial difficulties, and with reduced support from the royal household and the upkeep of their large residence becoming unsustainable, a book deal may seem like a practical option. However, Beatrice worries that any candid revelations could reignite old controversies and risk further isolating her and Eugenie from the royal circle they've strived to remain part of. Quietly. Princess Beatrice is on her knees, desperately begging her mother Sarah Ferguson to pull the plug before she drops a devastating tell-all that could obliterate whatever scraps of royal dignity the family has left. Fergie, drowning in debt and staring down the loss of their lavish home at Royal Lodge as King Charles tightens the purse strings, sees a bombshell book as her ticket out of financial ruin. But for Beatrice, it's nothing short of betrayal. One explosive page could trigger a wave of outrage that strips her and Eugenie of their titles and exiles them from the only world they've known. Princess Beatrice is on her knees, desperately begging her mother Sarah Ferguson to pull the plug before she drops a devastating tell-all that could obliterate whatever scraps of royal dignity the family has left. Fergie, drowning in debt and staring down the loss of their lavish home at Royal Lodge as King Charles tightens the purse strings, sees a bombshell book as her ticket out of financial ruin. But for Beatrice, it's nothing short of betrayal. One explosive page could trigger a wave of outrage that strips her and Eugenie of their titles and exiles them from the only world they've known. Princess Beatrice is allegedly terrified and actively imploring Sarah Ferguson not to proceed with the tell-all memoir. Driven by severe financial pressures, including Royal Lodge expenses and slashed royal allowances, Ferguson views the book as a viable way to capitalize on her experiences. Yet Beatrice sees it as a high-risk move that could destroy the delicate equilibrium she and Eugenie have maintained, inviting renewed scandal, and calls to sever their royal connections completely. These versions retain the original's dramatic essence, family betrayal, financial desperation, fear of exile from royal life, historical scandals as context without adding or subtracting key claims. The story itself draws heavily from tabloid speculation rather than confirmed palace statements. Ferguson has written memoirs before, for example, My Story in 1996 and Finding Sarah in 2011, but no official announcement of a new explosive one has surfaced as of early 2026. If you'd like more variants, a specific tone or focus on certain sections, for example, The historical scandals part, just let me know. Asterisk, the video evidence was devastating. It portrayed a woman ready to trade the monarchy's dignity for cash, driven by dire financial straits. At just 21 during the infamous Cash for Access controversy, Princess Beatrice was a young adult navigating life independently. Yet once more, her mother's decisions pulled the family reputation into disrepute. Insiders report that Beatrice endured profound pain back then. Reeling from harsh media scrutiny and social rejection, she came to a harsh realization. In royal circles, your standing hinges on the latest news story. More than 10 years on, history appears to be repeating itself. The dread that Sarah Ferguson, Fergie, could pursue yet another questionable financial scheme or even disclose confidential details to preserve Royal Lodge is robbing Beatrice of sleep. Having witnessed similar crises unfold before, she understands the devastating fallout they bring to everyone involved. Beatrice recognizes that her mother's desperation for funds often leads to reckless decisions with severe repercussions for the entire family. In Beatrice's view, a memoir represents the most blatant form of trading access for money, exchanging family privacy for profit. She's urgently imploring her mother to understand that no financial gain justifies eroding what little dignity and respect they still command. The potential timing of such a book could hardly be more damaging for Princess Beatrice. After years of struggle, she has finally begun earning some goodwill from King Charles. Following his rise to the throne and amid his own health struggles, Beatrice has quietly but meaningfully increased her involvement attending garden parties, appearing at key official occasions, and serving as a subtle connector among family branches. Royal observers have even speculated that she and Princess Eugenie could play expanded roles in a more streamlined monarchy, especially as the King and the Princess of Wales prioritize recovery. This represents a rare chance for Beatrice to solidify her position and demonstrate her worth to the institution. She has devoted considerable effort to separating herself from her parents' past controversies, building an image as a committed spouse to Edoardo Mapelli-Mozzi and a caring parent. She stands on the cusp of both career and social renewal, yet she remains acutely aware of her vulnerability. The King's patience with the York branch is thin. He prizes loyalty and restraint above everything. Should Sarah release a memoir containing even subtle criticism of the late Queen, the current monarch, or the monarchy's direction, Beatrice fears her hard-won progress would vanish overnight. Sources close to the situation portray Beatrice as teetering on the edge of emotional collapse. She finds herself trapped in an untenable bind, deeply devoted to her mother and eager to support her, yet viewing her as an unpredictable risk that could explode unpredictably. Reports indicate Beatrice has repeatedly urged Sarah to grasp how fragile their current standing truly is. Sarah maintains that she has no intention of complicating her daughter's life. She is simply overwhelmed by debt and sees few alternatives. Financial insecurity weighs heavily on her, with uncertainty about sustaining herself indefinitely. This encapsulates the York family's deeper sorrow. Sarah perceives her actions as survival necessities, while her daughters regard them as self-sabotage. The Duchess has long been characterized by intensity and devotion. In errors and in financial ups and downs, she professes no desire to harm her children and, reportedly for their benefit, has consented to temporarily shelve the memoir project. However, insiders stress that it remains very much alive. Sarah refuses to rule it out permanently. She has only agreed to delay while exploring other ways to address her money troubles. For Beatrice, this offers scant comfort. A delay is far from cancellation. With the memoir's shadow lingering, she will keep bracing for the next wave of damaging press. The mounting costs of maintaining Royal Lodge lie at the heart of this tension. The residence demands enormous ongoing expenses, and Prince Andrew's capacity to cover them has been drastically reduced. There is a growing perception that the Yorks are desperately holding on to an unaffordable way of life, with Sarah desperately seeking a rapid solution to sustain it. But the price could prove ruinous. Publishing the book might preserve the property, yet it would likely sever ties with the palace and erode her daughter's confidence in her. Forgoing it leaves her facing ongoing financial instability and the real possibility of losing her home. It's a quintessential lose-lose dilemma, with Princess Beatrice left bearing the brunt. To appreciate the full weight on Beatrice, consider her distinct place in the royal landscape. Unlike cousins Prince William and Prince Harry, She and Eugenie were never formally working royals, receiving no sovereign grant support from public funds. Beatrice and Eugenie have had to carve out their own careers in the private sector, Beatrice in technology and venture capital, and Eugenie in the arts. For Beatrice, her professional standing is her most valuable asset. She has dedicated years to establishing a career separate from her parents' controversies. She serves as an ambassador for various charitable organizations, regularly speaks at international events, and has earned respect on her own merits. However, much of that professional legitimacy depends on her position as a dignified member of the royal family. If her mother pulls the family into another scandal through a revealing memoir, Beatrice's business connections could disappear almost immediately. Companies and elite charities avoid linking themselves to a family name associated with royal disloyalty and monetary desperation. Additionally, the influence of Harry and Meghan cannot be overlooked. The royal family continues to recover from the effects of Prince Harry's book, Spare, along with the preceding Netflix series. The fallout from the Sussexes has led King Charles and Prince William to adopt a strict, no-tolerance stance toward relatives who monetize their personal stories. Should Sarah Ferguson emulate Harry's approach, she wouldn't merely be seen as a problematic former spouse. She would be regarded as a direct adversary to the monarchy. Beatrice recognizes that the king is seeking opportunities to streamline the royal institution further. By maintaining a discreet presence and offering support during this challenging period, Beatrice has positioned herself as essential. Yet, if her mother becomes a burden once more, that vital role could be lost. Beatrice is said to be deeply fearful that she and Eugenie might be grouped with the outlier royals, forfeiting their lingering privileges and, crucially, their cherished spot within the family. Regarding the potential memoir's content, what revelations from Sarah Ferguson could prove so harmful? Insiders indicate that the Duchess possesses years of confidential information. She was exceptionally close to the late Queen Elizabeth II, often called the Queen's preferred daughter-in-law post-divorce. She is privy to the personal aspects of the Queen's later life, the confidential discussions amid the Epstein controversy, and the genuine sentiments of top royals regarding Harry and Meghan. There's also her marriage to consider. Although she and Prince Andrew are famously amicable exes, a memoir would likely force her to confront the major issue, Andrew's scandal. Defending him vigorously could incite public outrage, while revealing the raw facts might devastate the father of her daughters. It's a precarious balancing act over a dangerous drop, and Beatrice knows her mother isn't renowned for steadiness. The emotional strain on Beatrice is profound. Picture being the dependable figure in a family where the parents repeatedly invite trouble. For a long time, Beatrice and Eugenie have served as intermediaries between their parents and the outside world. They've been the ones to mend relations with Uncle Charles and their grandmother, and to maintain composure at public events like weddings and funerals amid whispers about their father's shame. Now, Beatrice perceives her mother's actions as essentially wagering on her daughter's futures. Each time Fergie announces a new endeavor or major opportunity, Beatrice's spirits reportedly plummet. She views it not as a route to financial stability, but as a road to societal isolation. The begging referenced in reports isn't mere exaggeration, it's a daughter's urgent plea to prevent her mother from succumbing to her most impulsive tendencies. But what drives Sarah Ferguson's financial urgency? To outsiders, it's baffling that someone with her network could be in such dire straits. Yet, the expenses of life near the royals are extraordinarily high. Maintaining Royal Lodge alone costs an estimated $500,000 annually. Add to that security, travel, and a wardrobe befitting a duchess. Upon ascending the throne, King Charles apparently informed Andrew that he must cover his own expenses. The substantial stipend from the Queen was reduced significantly. The Bank of Mom is shut and the Bank of Brother is far less generous. Sarah, ever Andrew's staunchest ally, has assumed the role of main provider. She's authored children's literature, partnered with Mills and Boon on romantic historical novels, and featured on talk shows. While these efforts have succeeded to some degree, they don't generate the lasting wealth needed for a 30-room estate in Windsor Great Park. A candid memoir, on the other hand, represents a game-changer. Following Spare, publishers crave royal insider accounts. A title from Sarah Ferguson, such as The Duchess's Story or My Years with the Royals, could secure a multi-million-dollar deal upfront. For someone burdened by substantial debts, that sum is transformative. It's the key to remaining in Royal Lodge. Asterisk. Princess Beatrice finds herself in a desperate situation, facing the prospect of her parents leaving the Grand Royal Lodge for a far more modest cottage, or even depending on the kindness of friends for a place to stay. Yet her plea to her mother, Sarah Ferguson, boils down to one straightforward point. What value does a grand house hold if it costs you your family? According to reports, Beatrice is reminding Sarah that the late Queen Elizabeth always placed the highest priority on discretion. Publishing such a book, she argues, would amount to a profound betrayal of the woman who shielded her for so many years. Beatrice is pulling on every emotional string available, her own children, her sister, and her father's vulnerable condition in an effort to reach her mother. Meanwhile, Princess Eugenie's role is just as fraught. While Beatrice is said to be pleading on her knees in London, Eugenie divides her time between the UK and Portugal, where her husband, Jack Brooksbank, is based. Eugenie has long served as the link to the Sussexes, preserving a warm connection with Harry and Meghan. This has already placed her in a tricky spot with King Charles. If Sarah proceeds with a memoir, Eugenie's carefully maintained neutrality would collapse. She would be compelled to choose between her mother and the crown. The York sisters have historically presented a solid, united front, but this situation is straining even their close relationship. Beatrice is reportedly growing irritated that Eugenie isn't pressing their mother harder. While Eugenie attempts to mediate from a distance and keep the peace, the wider consequences for the British monarchy are impossible to ignore. The institution is navigating an unusually fragile period of transition, with both the King and the Princess of Wales dealing with significant health issues. The firm is more exposed than it has been in generations, and the last thing it needs is another explosive expose revealing internal family strife. Should Sarah Ferguson move forward with the book, it would be interpreted as a blatant challenge to the King's authority, evidence that the York branch operates as an unpredictable, untrustworthy element. This could trigger severe repercussions, such as removing Beatrice and Eugenie from the line of succession or even revoking their princess titles. While this would be an extreme measure the King would hesitate to deploy, mounting pressure from the public and palace, advisors might make it unavoidable. Beatrice's predicament resonates deeply with many. The painful duty of a child striving to shield a parent from their own poor choices, all while safeguarding their own household and prospects. Carrying that weight is difficult enough in private. When the parent's errors unfold under international scrutiny, it becomes crushing. As discussions around the potential book deal remain on hold, global attention is fixed on Sarah Ferguson's next decision. Can she resolve her financial troubles without compromising her integrity by handing over her story to publishers? Or will the allure of a multi-million-dollar advance prove irresistible? For Beatrice's sake, one can only wish for a wiser resolution to emerge quickly. Turning to the heart of the matter, the Royal Lodge itself, this property transcends being mere accommodation. It stands as a powerful emblem. For Prince Andrew, remaining there sustains an illusion of continued royal standing, however symbolic. For Sarah, it is the place where she brought up her daughters and continues to act as a maternal figure. Yet recent accounts describe the residence as deteriorating, issues with dampness, flaking paint, and a roof in urgent need of repair. The King has apparently proposed that Andrew relocate to the considerably smaller Frogmore cottage, previously occupied by Harry and Meghan, which would be far less costly to upkeep. Andrew, however, has steadfastly rejected the idea. Holding firm to his 75-year lease, this standoff over Royal Lodge has driven a deep wedge between the brothers, leaving Sarah trapped in the crossfire as she searches for funds to resolve the impasse. Ever practical, Beatrice is said to favor the relocation. She reportedly views downsizing to a more affordable, easier-to-manage property as the key to easing her mother's financial strain and diffusing the clash with the King. In her eyes, the imposing residence has become a luxurious trap, eroding her mother's well-being and jeopardizing her own future. Nevertheless, her arguments appear to fall flat, as both Andrew and Sarah remain emotionally tied to the prestige the lodge represents. The situation carries striking irony. In recent years, Sarah Ferguson has worked diligently to recast herself as a thoughtful matriarch, accomplished writer, and tenacious survivor. She's been unusually prominent, appearing on programs like Loose Women and promoting her novels widely. This carefully constructed image, however, is extremely delicate. It depends entirely on public forgiveness of her earlier missteps. A candid memoir would demolish that persona overnight, transforming her from the endearing Duchess back into the disloyal former royal. Beatrice grasps this reality fully. As her mother's sharpest counselor, even when that guidance goes unheeded, she possesses a keen understanding of the modern media environment, perhaps more so than anyone else in the family. She recognizes that in the era of social media, no disclosure can be contained or managed. Once the details escape, the royal family's private matters, once exposed publicly, become vulnerable to harsh judgment from the outside world. Sources close to the situation indicate that Princess Beatrice has sought assistance from her husband, Edoardo Mapelli Mazzi, in addressing this issue. Coming from a prominent Italian aristocratic background, Edoardo appreciates the value of preserving heritage and maintaining privacy. He has apparently been a key source of emotional support for Beatrice as she deals with her mother's mounting financial difficulties. However, even his resources and influence may not fully counteract Sarah Ferguson's growing urgency. Examining the sequence of events reveals a recurring cycle of close calls. Sarah Ferguson has hinted at explosive revelations multiple times in the past, with whispers of lucrative publishing deals emerging periodically, only to fade after interventions from the royal establishment. Yet, the current circumstances appear more precarious. The financial burdens are greater, the debts more substantial, and the late queen, who once provided a protective shield, is no longer present. King Charles lacks the same emotional connection to Sarah that his mother had. He recalls the scandals of the 1990s all too well, the damaging press coverage, the public humiliation, and the pain it caused his father, Prince Philip. To Charles, Sarah represents a turbulent chapter he is eager to close. Should she proceed with such a book, he would likely sever any remaining connections without hesitation. For Beatrice and Eugenie, the repercussions could be severe: exclusion from events like Trooping the Colour, no appearances on the Buckingham Palace balcony, and the loss of any royal endorsements. They would effectively be reduced to ordinary private individuals, a stark and daunting shift for those who have always held the title of Her Royal Highness. Beatrice's appeals to her mother are rooted in concern for future generations, including her own daughter Sienna and stepson Wolfie. She aims to ensure they inherit a dignified family reputation, free from ridicule in the media or entertainment sketches, and to end the persistent pattern of controversies associated with the Yorks. The core dilemma revolves around whether Sarah Ferguson can adapt her lifestyle, curb her spending, and safeguard family confidences, or if, as detractors claim, she is drawn irresistibly to fame and the allure of immediate financial gains. This uncertainty weighs heavily on Princess Beatrice. In wrapping up this examination, it's evident that the York branch of the family faces a pivotal moment. The choices ahead will shape their legacy for years ahead. Will Sarah opt for the drastic step of publishing to resolve her money woes, even if it jeopardizes her ties to the monarchy? Or will she heed her daughter's urgent requests and seek alternative solutions? The intrigue within the royal household often surpasses the intensity of scripted dramas, and the dynamic between Beatrice and her mother exemplifies themes of affection, allegiance, and the burdensome expectations of royalty. What do you make of this predicament? Is Beatrice justified in her fear over her mother's possible autobiography? Does Sarah have a legitimate claim to sharing her experiences for financial stability, or does she have a duty to her daughters and the monarchy to stay quiet? And regarding Royal Lodge, should the Yorks relinquish it in favor of a simpler existence? We'd appreciate your views in the comments. They enrich the discussion. Does Fergie deserve to own her narrative, or should the institution's needs take precedence? If this breakdown resonated with you, consider liking the video to help expand our audience of those fascinated by authentic royal narratives. Your interaction enables us to continue exploring these intricate familial relationships. If you're not subscribed yet, please do so to stay part of our group of royal enthusiasts. We have additional detailed analyses, historical explorations, and timely updates lined up. Don't miss our upcoming piece on the King's approach to handling inactive family members. Thanks for joining us today. We value your choice to turn to us for royal insights amid so many options. More to come. See you soon. Take care and farewell.